Hello! Kumusta po mga kamatinik? Welcome to our new episode. This is quarter 4 week number 2. And today's episode, we'll be having the lesson all about visualizing the volume of a cube and rectangular prism. But before that, I will present first the answer key from the previous episode natin, fourth quarter week number 1. Please check now your answers. Here is the answer key for Math Try Nga quarter 4 week number 1. And for number 1, the answer is 153 and 86 hundredths square inches. Number 2, 113 and 4 hundredths square centimeters. Number 3, 1,962 and 50 hundredths or 1,962 and 5 tenths square centimeters. Number 4, 314 square inches. Number 5, 78 and 50 hundredths or 78 and 5 tenths square meters. Congratulations to those who got perfect score. Kaya naman, abangan natin mamaya kung sino ang ating top 5 na sobrang bibilis na sumagot at nakakuha ng perfect score. At sila ang ating Mathniks of the Week. Kung gusto nyo ring maging Mathnik of the Week, sagutin nyo lamang ang ating Math Try Nga. Pero dapat tumutok muna para makuha nyo ang tamang sagot maya-maya. Kaya't makinig, manood, na't matuto kay Maestro Olaso. Oops, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell para updated kayo sa mga bago kong video. Like and share, don't skip the ads, para happy lang tayo. Ayan, simulan na natin ang ating aralin. Today, again, I'll be discussing the visualization of the volume of the cube and rectangular prism. Also, I'll be talking with the appropriate units in finding the volume of an object and conversion of common units in finding the volume. Look at these two figures. This is the first and this is the second. Could you still identify what are these two figures? Yes, the first figure is called cube and the second figure is rectangular prism. What do they have in common? Ano ba yung pagkakapareho nila? Meron ba kayo nakikita? Yes, both cube and rectangular prism is made of block of cubes. Okay, so we have the first one. So lahat sila ay mayroong mga blocks of cubes, no? So etong block cube na ito is representing 1 cubic unit. Now, let us count how many cubic units are there in this cube. So we will just count or multiply the length, which is 3, times the width, which is also 3, and the height, which is also 3. Okay, so the number of cubic units in the cube is 27 cubic units or units cube. So what did you notice? Ayan, kung mapapansin ninyo, pare-pareho ang sukat ng length, ng width, and ng height. Let's proceed now to the next figure, the rectangular prism. So how are we going to get the number of cubic units? Okay, just like what we did in the cube, we'll just get the length, which is 2, and multiply the width, which is also 2, and multiply with the height, which is equal to 12 cubic units or units cube. So, what are the difference of these two figures? Yes, with regard to the length and the width and the height, when we say cube, it is a 3-dimensional figure or solid figure that has the same length, width, and height. Kaya naman, pag kukunin mo yung bilang ng cubic units, you just get one edge and multiply it by itself 3 times. Kaya katulad nito, kunin mo lang yan. Yung isang edge ay binubuo ng 3 units. So you have to multiply it 3 times by itself. So we have 3 times 3. We have 9 times 3. We have 27. While rectangular prism is a three-dimensional figure or solid figure that has different length, width, and height. So magkakaiba. Nagkataon lang kahit na magkapareho yung length at saka width, siguradong maiiba yung height. So sometimes iba rin yung length, iba rin yung width, iba rin yung height. And that is what you call rectangular prism. Okay. Now, what we are talking about here, if we are getting the number of cubic units, it means we are getting what? The volume. And that is our topic for week number 2. When we are getting the volume, we are getting the number of cubic units in a solid figure. Just like what we did, we get the number of cubic units of a cube and the number of cubic units of a rectangular prism. So, in getting the volume of a cube, just like what we did, we will just follow the formula V equals E cube, or get the measurement of one edge and multiply 3 times. So we have E times E times E. And that E stands for the edge. And when we are getting now the volume of the rectangular prism, we will just follow again the formula V equals L times W times H, which means you are multiplying the length, the width, and the height. Okay, now let us use these formulas in finding the volume of the following objects. Again, take note and remember, let's be careful in using the units. In finding the volume, there's always a cube, no? Cubic unit. Let us use those formulas in finding the volume of the following objects. So let's find the volume in each of the following figures. Let's start with the first one. Again, what is the figure? Is it cube or rectangular prism? Okay, if you want to get the answer, you can pause it now. Okay, so this is rectangular prism, and we will follow the formula V equals L times W times H. Then, how many cubic units are there in the length? So how many? 1, 2, 3. So we have 3. The width is 2. And the height is how many blocks? We have 4. So by multiplying 3 times 2 equals 6 times 4 equals 24. So the answer is 24 cubic units or units cubed. What about number 2? What kind of figure? Yes, that is a cube. How many blocks or cubic units are there in each edge? Bilangin natin. 1, 2, 3, 4. So by following the formula, V equals E cube or E times E times E. So we have 4 for each edge. So we'll multiply 4 times 4 times 4. So we have the answer, 64 cubic units or units cubed. And for number 3, another rectangular prism. So let's just follow the formula V equals L times W times H. So we have the length of 5, the width of 2, and the height of 5. So multiply 5 times 2 equals 10 times 5. So we have the answer, 50 cubic units or units cubed. Now, since we are talking on the volume, we must be aware how are we going to use an appropriate units to get the volume of an object. So here are the appropriate units and most used units of measure in finding the volume of a cube and rectangular prism. Ito yon yung madalas na ginagamit. So we have cubic meters or M cube, cubic decimeters or DM cube, cubic centimeters or cm cube, cubic millimeters or mm cube. These are the standard units now. Now, commonly, we also use cubic feet or feet cube. We have also cubic inches or inches cube. Now, let's have example. This shoebox, what do you think is the appropriate unit? Yes, it should be cubic centimeter or cm cube, or sometimes we also use inches or cubic inches. Okay? What about this refrigerator? So ano yung madalas na naririnig nyong units? Yes, you are correct. It's cubic feet. Ayan. What about these dice, rolling dice? Since it is a smaller object, so we will use also smaller units. Yes, that's right. In getting the volume of this, we will just use cubic millimeters or mm cube. What about a room? Okay, what is the appropriate unit if you are getting the volume of a room? Since it's a larger unit, so we will use cubic meters. Ayan. So, this time, since we are talking now units, I will teach you how to convert naman if the given is large units and you are going to convert it to smaller units and vice versa. It means if the given is small units and you are going to convert it or change it into larger units, how are we going to do that? So, let's do this. So, here is now the converting method in cubic centimeter to cubic meter and vice versa. If the given is cubic meter, how are you going to convert it to cubic centimeter? Also, if the given is cubic centimeter and you are going to convert it to liter, and what is that liter? Also, vice versa, if the given is liter and you are going to convert it into cubic centimeter, paano? At yan ang ating pag-uusapan. Again, please be careful that here is the correct order of the units. From largest units, we have, but this is not the largest, no? So the largest is kilometer. But in this example, we are just getting the common units in getting the volume of rectangular prism and a cube. Okay, so we have cubic meters. The next is cubic decimeters, or it is also same with the liter. So, pag kinukuha mo yung liter, same lang yan ng cubic decimeter. And also, we have cubic centimeter. So, dito tayo maglalaro, no? So, how are you going to convert? If the given is cubic meter, then you are to convert it into liter or cubic decimeter, you are going to multiply by 1,000. Also, if the given is cubic decimeter or liter and you are going to convert it to cubic centimeter, you will just multiply by 1,000 or move the decimal point 3 places to the right. Ayan. Ulitin ko ha. Pag nagsimula ka dito, titingnan mo lang yung arrow. Kung nag-jump ka ng isa, ayan, you will just multiply it by 1,000. Or you will move the decimal point 3 places to the right also. And what if the given is cubic meter and you are going to convert it to cubic centimeter? Ayan. So, you will jump 2 times. So, 1, 2. That's why from cubic meter, you will multiply it by 1 million. Or you just move the decimal point 6 places to the right. Follow the arrow. Okay? But if you are going to convert smaller unit to larger unit, for example, the given is cubic centimeter and you are going to convert it into cubic decimeter or liter, you just divide it by 1,000. Or move the decimal point, sundan mo lang yung arrow from the right going to the left. And also, just like with if the given is cubic decimeter or liter and you are going to convert it to cubic meter, just follow the arrow, divide it by 1,000 or move the decimal point 3 places to the left. And also, if the given is cubic centimeter and you are going to convert it to cubic meter, you just divide it by 1 million or move the decimal point 6 places to the left. Let's take an example. For example, number 1, we have the given 3 cubic meters. How many cubic decimeter or liters are there in 3 cubic meters? So, ang given natin ay cubic meter. So, we will start with cubic meter. Hinahanap natin ay cubic decimeter. So, magkatabi lang yan. Eto. Going to the right, so 3 times 1,000 or move the decimal point 3 places to the right din kasi magkatabi lang yan from m cube to dm cube. Ayan. So, the answer is, ayan, imumove lang natin ng 3 beses. Kaya napunta ang point dito. So, ang sagot ay 3,000 or 3 times 1,000 is equal to 3,000. Let's have the second example. What if 2.8 cubic decimeter, how many cubic centimeter? So, ang given natin, ito, dm cube, hinahanap natin ang cubic cm. So, magkatabi lang din. From dm cube, going to cm cube. So, follow the arrow to the right. So, how many places? Or multiply it by 1,000. So, 2.8 times 1,000 or move the decimal point 3 places pa rin, kaya ang sagot ay naging 2,800 or multiply 2.8 times 1,000. Let's have a third example. What if the given is 5 cubic meters? You are going to find cubic centimeter. So, nandito yung cubic meter. Papunta tayo sa cubic centimeter. So, how many places yan? Times 1 million. So, 5 times 1 million or moving the decimal point 6 places. Ayan, we have 6 zeros then. So, we have the answer, 5 million. It means 5 cubic meters is equal to 5 million cubic centimeters. Let's have the fourth example. For example, we have 7,000 cubic centimeter. You need to find how many cubic decimeter or liter. So, from the given cm cube, hinahanap, pabalik, dm cube or liter. So, it means you are going to divide 7,000 divided by 1,000. Or you just move the decimal point papunta rin sa left, pabalik. So, ayan. Diyan nagsimula ang point, pabalik, 1, 2, 3. So, we have now the point. Napunta na doon sa gitna ng 7 and 0, it means 7.00 is equal to 7. Or 7,000 divided by 1,000 is 7. Let's have another example. What about 9,456 cubic decimeter or liter? How many cubic meters are there? So, magsisimula daw tayo sa dm cube or liter. Yan ang given natin. Hinahanap yung cubic meter. So, pabalik. Or 9,456 divided by 1,000 or move the decimal point. So, we have 9.456. Ayan. 1, 2, 3. Kaya siya naging 9.456. Ayan. Let's have the last example. What if we have 568,000 cubic centimeters? How many cubic meters? So, ang given natin ay cubic centimeters. Hinahanap natin yung cubic meters. So, saan yan? Follow the arrow. 1, 2. So, dalawang jump. So, it means divided by 1 million. Or move the decimal point pabalik going to the left. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, napunta ang point doon sa tabi ni 5. So, that's why the answer, or remove mo na yung 0. So, ang ating sagot is 0.568. Again, 568,000 cubic centimeters is equal to 568,000 cubic meters. So that's how we convert the units from larger units going to the smaller units and small units going to the larger units. Just follow the arrow or you just follow the operation. If you are going to convert from large units going to smaller units, then you have to multiply. If the given is small units, then going to larger units, you are going to divide. I think we are done with our topic for quarter 4 week number 2. This time to test. If you really learned in our lesson for this week, get ready and say, Math try nga! Alright, calling of you grade 5 learners, please type or comment your answers in the comment section of this episode. Just type your complete name, the name and location of your school, and your answer. Again, there are only 5 items to answer. You can pause the question if you want to read and understand it over and over again. Are you ready? Let's do Math Try Nga! Number 1. How many cubic units are there in the figure? A. 27 cubic units. B. 64 cubic units. C. 125 cubic units. D. 216 cubic units. Number 2. What is the volume of the box if it is 6 centimeters long, 2 centimeters wide, and 4 centimeters high? A. 12 cubic centimeters. B. 24 cubic centimeters. C. 36 cubic centimeters. D. 48 cubic centimeters. Number 3. What is the appropriate unit to measure the volume of this cabinet? A. Cubic meters. B. Cubic inches. C. Cubic millimeters. D. Cubic kilometers. Number 4. How many cubic meters are there in 230,000 cubic centimeters? A. 23 cubic meters. B. 2.3 cubic meters. C. 0.23 cubic meters. D. 230 cubic meters. Number 5. How many cubic centimeters are there in 1.5 liters? A. 150 cubic centimeters. B. 0.0015 cubic centimeters. C. 1,500 cubic centimeters. D. 1,500,000 cubic centimeters. So I think you have now your answer. Kindly comment it now and abangan baka kayo ang ating maging Mathinic of the Week sa susunod nating episode. And before we finally end, I would like to present to you our Mathinics of the Week. Our first Mathinic of the Week is from Rizal Elementary School of Section Eagle, Dieter C. Arcega. Our second Mathinic of the Week mula naman sa Pembo Elementary School, Hannah Lindsay D. Buktuan. Our third Mathinic of the Week ay from again Pembo Elementary School, Prince William C. Perez. And our fourth Mathinic ay nagmula naman sa Taguig Integrated School, Santa Ana, Taguig City, Randolph Devin G. Onza. And our fourth Mathinic of the Week ay nagmula pa rin sa Rizal Elementary School. From Section Eagle din, ayan, Chanel Lorraine D. Torres. Ayan, thank you to all of you and congratulations din sa iba pang mga naka-perfect ng ating Math Try Nga. Keep up your good attitude. Remember that the best way to learn is to apply what you have learned. And if you get a mistake, do not worry. That is another way of learning. Again, shout out po sa inyong lahat na sumusuporta at nag-aabang ng aking mga episode. Thank you very much po mga kaguro, mga magulang at mga mag-aaral mula Luzon hanggang sa Mindanao. God bless po. And that concludes our episode for the fourth quarter week number 2. Again, maraming salamat po. See you in the next episode. Happy learning!